When I reached the age of 18 years old, just after the death of my mama in 2003, I was asking myself questions. Why was I even born? Because in the first place, my father rejected my mama before I was born. So my mother is now taking care of me by herself. And she's a single woman and she's trying to take care of 3 other kids and without any assistance. And so I was raised by a single parent and a woman with no job, a woman with no money, a woman with no assistance. Yet a former husband was very successful in politics, was a rich man, and I'm being raised by a woman, yet she is trying her best to raise me, but I had nothing and she had nothing, and the only person I had at that time was her. And then she died in a car accident in 2003, and I began to ask God questions, and I began to say, why me? And I began to say, Lord, why was I even born if you knew you were going to take my mama? Why did I even come into this earth planet knowing that my father was going to reject me? If there is something that will pain you is being rejected by somebody that is still alive, somebody that you can watch on television every day distributing food to people, somebody that you're watching on television every day donating to homesteads and different negotiation places, yet you cannot even go to school because you don't even have money to go to school. Have you ever been there whereby you are facing rejection to a point that you would rather say it's better for me to die? I asked God, why did you even took my mama when I was only 12 years old? Why did my father reject me? And why didn't I finish school? Because everybody was finishing school and I was the only one that was not going to school, and I was the only one that did not finish school at that time. And I said, why is even good things happening, even bad things happening to good people? You are a good person, but bad things are happening to you. You are so perfect. You are a worshiper. You love God, but bad things are happening to you. So I grew up with all sort of questions. Why me? Have you ever been there whereby you wake up in the morning and there is no food to eat? Have you ever been there whereby you are trying your level best to even study at school and nothing is getting in your head? Have you ever been there whereby you are trying to fit in an environment and yet everybody else is rejecting you? Have you ever been there whereby you are trying to apply for a job but nobody is writing you back? Have you ever been there whereby you are trying to fit in so that somebody can accept your proposal but nobody is willing to accept your proposal? Have you ever been there whereby you are looking for a relationship, for somebody to date you? You are so beautiful, you are fine, you are good, you look amazing, but nobody wants to date you with all your beauty that you carry. Have you ever been there whereby you sit in your house and you said, am I ever going to get married with these 4 children I have? Who is going to accept this type of a woman that I am? I'm a divorcee. I've now reached 50 years old and I'm still single. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been there whereby you are trying your level best to live life godly and holy, but the devil keeps coming back to you, just knocking on your door to drag you back where you were the last time? Have you ever been there whereby you are trying your level best to do your best so that you can be an obedient child, but one way or the other you end up just being mischievous one way or the other? But today the Lord told me to tell you that today you've got to refuse. Sir, I went into prayer and said, Lord, you need to speak to me about this issue because I feel rejected. Have you ever been rejected by the ones you love? You love them, but they say no. So I went to God and said, Lord, please speak to me. Then the Lord said to me, your parents might have been responsible in bringing you in the earth planet, but it's your responsibility now to put life into your own hands. And I began to say, thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me for the long time and suffering. But now it's my time to take life into my own hands. I ain't gonna allow the devil to bring depression in my mind so that the enemy takes my life. So I refuse to die. Do you know that the enemy can begin to kill you in your mind? He'll begin to break you from your mind. He'll begin to actually assassinate you from your mind. But I'm here to talk to somebody who has been going through some mental situations where the enemy has been throwing thoughts in your head, where the enemy has been speaking and whispering whispering in your ear, telling you that you are going to die of that sickness, telling you that you are not going to live another day, telling you that you are going to be fired at work. But I'm here to tell you, your life is in your hands, and that devil is a liar. He thought that I would die in my thoughts, but he's a liar. He thought that I would die in my depression, but he's a liar. He thought that I would die thinking that who is going to marry me, but he's a liar. He thought that I would die in my sorrow, but he's a liar. Today I refuse